Hello, and welcome to another episode of Coach and Coffee. This is episode number 11. How do you like my Christmas mug here? It's got some snowmen on it. It's like Christmas in July, except it's not July either, but whatever. Public service announcement. If you have one of these Spartan shirts that are made by Kraft, when they changed from Reebok and everything and stopped doing the tri-blend or whatever it was stuff, cottonish stuff, and went on to this athletic stuff, it burns. The sun is shining on my shoulders right now, and this shirt makes my skin feel like it's on fire. This stuff absorbs heat like crazy and heats you up. So if you live in a place where it's somehow still cool, but it's sunny, just throw one of these on and it'll feel like it's super hot. Not a big fan of this material, but whatever. Today we are talking about creative ways to get training in. A lot of people are on time constraints with life and work and family, and oh no, don't do that, Echo. He's drinking out of a thing. Anyway, with busy lifestyles and everything, people only have so much time that they can devote to training. And in the free time that people do have, they don't necessarily want to devote all of it to training. And so, maybe they enjoy watching TV, and there's nothing wrong with that, watching shows and things like that. Or maybe there's YouTube channels that they subscribe to that they absolutely love, or maybe they're addicted to Netflix or Hulu, whatever it is. There are creative ways to get training in while still doing those things. The first one, use a stationary bike. I bought a stationary bike this past December. I did some research, looked up some different times, got some recommendations from friends, so thank you to those who gave me recommendations. I don't have areas around here that for reasonable trail riding. So anyway, I was going for a stationary bike so that I could still be home and not be spending more time away from my wife. It's literally why I ended up getting it. But it's been really great. So I've done almost 500 miles now on the bike this year, all while sitting in front of the TV watching stuff that I would have sat in front of the TV watching with my wife or by myself sometimes, usually with her, but sometimes by myself. And so I've done almost 500 miles of riding. I can't remember how, it's close to 50 hours. I average like 10 miles per hour on that with the resistance that I have it set at. And so that's all work, almost all of that work. Actually this year, all of that work is work that was done while I would have just been doing nothing otherwise. And I really wanted to do a little more cross training this year, so that works out perfectly. The stationary bike that I got, Sunny something, I can't remember the brand. It was like $240, very inexpensive compared to some of the bikes out there, stationary bikes that are like $2,000. I think a Peloton or whatever it's called is like $2,000. Maybe it's $1,500. I don't know. I guess it depends on the model, maybe. But $250, 500 miles in, no issues at all with it. It works perfectly. You have a speedometer, timer, you can change the resistance to make it super easy, super light, and change the height of seat. It functions perfectly. I have no need for anything more right now. If I got into biking really a lot, then maybe I'd need more. That's a great option for you. And you can find used stationary bikes on Facebook Marketplace. You can find them on Craigslist. You can find them all over the place. And usually people are getting rid of those things pretty cheap because they've had them in their houses for years and never used them, and they just want it gone. Or their spouse wants it gone, or their whatever. Another cool way to get in some training when you would be doing something otherwise, grip string trainers. So there's a ton of different grip string trainers that you can buy. They're usually spring loaded essentially, so it's just essentially two handles in your hand that you're squeezing together, and it develops better grip strength. More so grip strength, endurance, it just depends on how difficult of a trainer you get, what the poundage is for each one. There are some that are over 100 pounds, and those are very, very hard. But there's some that are as low as like 15 pounds, I believe, and they might even go lower than that. I haven't seen them, but I'm sure they go pretty low. So if you're just sitting at home or at your desk, you can be using the grip strength trainer to build better grip strength and better grip strength endurance. If you're driving in the car, you can do the same thing. It's great because you don't have to look at it. You shouldn't be texting and driving. Everyone's looking at their phones, and I see it every day. Every day I go out and driving, almost every day, I see people in cars staring down at their phones while they're driving. It's terrifying. But you can have that in your hand and be training your grip and switch hands as you're going along. And if for some reason you need both hands all of a sudden, you just drop it. You're good to go. So it's safe and effective. Another cool thing you can do while you're just standing, and not to give too much information here, but when I was going to camp growing up, one day all of a sudden was taking a shower at camp because it was in August and it was super humid and hot, so I was taking a shower to get less sweaty and disgusting. And I just started doing calf raises because why not? I was like, well, this is fun. And so, I did them for a while, and then my calves were sore afterwards, and I was like, wow, my calves must be pretty weak, because I didn't do any running hardly back then, just for fun and some pickup sports and stuff. But my calves, I guess, weren't very strong, so I just started doing calf raises. You can do them anywhere. They are great for developing calf strength, for developing muscular strength in and around your ankles, so they are much stronger and better for support. It's going to develop some strength in your feet as well. It's just a great exercise to do overall if you're going to be running at all, lifting at all, whatever. It's just beneficial overall. So you can just do calf raises anywhere. Another fun one, and I've actually seen people do this at different times online, play drinking games with fitness. So instead of watching something and every time they say the word and you take a drink, you, instead of taking a drink, do an exercise. So you can either come up with a list in advance of different words that equal different exercises, or you can just choose one word and one exercise, and then every time whatever you're watching they say that word, you do whatever the exercise is. So maybe you're watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and every time they say police, you do 20 push-ups. Pretty simple. Great way to get in exercise while you are doing something you enjoy and wouldn't normally be exercising. Training is a long-term thing. Oh, 1 second. Echo needs to get inside for some. Training is a long-term endeavor. You should never think of training in a 1 day span, 1 week span, 1 month span, or even a year span. It's a long-term thing. So all those little things over time, while they may not be a lot at the time, and while they may not seem like a lot at the time, they will be beneficial. All those little things added up amount to a significant amount of training. Like I thought when I got the bike this year, I wasn't sure how much I'd do it, how much I'd want to do it and all that. Holy cow. Oh, a cicada just fell down. Huh. I wasn't sure how much of that I'd be doing, want to do, and it turns out that it's been a lot so far. Like I said, I think it's close to 50 hours worth on the bike already. So that's a lot. Other things you can obviously do, you can stretch while you're watching TV or listening to podcasts or whatever, hanging out with family and friends. They may look at you weird, who cares? You're stretching, you're getting that work in. You can foam roll, you can do all of that. If you have like a Hypervolt or something, you can use that as well and still interact normally with everyone else. So implement things into your life. It's a lifestyle. It's not just like a task. It's not something to check off your list every day. It's a part of a lifestyle, staying active. If you can implement it and make it a lifestyle, you're going to be better off health-wise and goal-wise. If you have any questions, reach out to us at info@triofitlife.com. You can also visit our website at triofitnessocr.com and check out our training programs. Check out our blog tab on there. We have 60 or 70 articles up right now, covering topics for just about everything conceivable in OCR. Every time we're coming up with a new article, we're like, man, I don't know what to write about. And then eventually inspiration hits us. But there are a lot of different topics addressed on there. Some similar to this one, some similar to some of the other coaching coffees with different examples and everything. But check those out. They are a very helpful resource and have been so to a lot of people. Yeah, that covers it for today. Have a great day, enjoy the wonderful weather, and I will see you next time on Coach and Coffee.